Hello and welcome back. So amid the speculation that Biden's going to drop out of the race, there's one name floating above all else. And that's the name of Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. Gretchen Whitmer said that there's ultimately little chance that Biden will win the state of Michigan following his debate performance. Some speculate that Whitmer herself will enter the race, but Whitmer has dispelled these rumors, which I believe that she will enter the race if she sees that there's a possible chance that she can get the nomination. And that would mean that Biden has to step down. And there have been polls conducted on whether or not she would succeed if she enters the race against Donald Trump, with her getting about 44% of the vote, while Trump getting about 46%. This means that third-party candidates would get about 10% of the vote, but that could also be due to the fact that many don't know who Whitmer is. So it's possible that when Whitmer gets more name recognition, she could actually beat Donald Trump. So let's analyze this potential matchup and see who will win. So let's look at the polls. Given a potential Democratic primary, Whitmer places 4th place, which is pretty solid given everything. And she's the governor of Michigan, which is a very important state to win these elections. Now let's look at her approval rating. More Democrats give Whitmer support than Republicans give Trump support. So this is starting off a very good sign for Gretchen Whitmer. So now, since Whitmer is a pretty legitimate candidate, I'm going to give her the safe states, which are Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Illinois, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Maine's 1st Congressional District. However, since Trump is also a pretty popular candidate, I will give him the safe states as well, which includes Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Nebraska's 1st, Nebraska's 3rd, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, and West Virginia. So now that we have the swing states and swing districts, let's do this prediction. So first, Whitmer is gonna win her home state, and there are a few reasons why I believe this. Michigan has gone to the Democratic Party in terms of Senate and governor races for many years now. Let's first look at the 2022 midterms. Whitmer won by over 10% against a very popular Trump-backed candidate, Tudor Dixon. With that being said, Whitmer is extremely popular in the state of Michigan and will win Michigan against Donald Trump. That might be her biggest asset in this election, actually. However, Trump will still win the Midwest state of Ohio, even though probably less so because Whitmer is running. And I think he'll win the South because Whitmer does not have as much appeal in the South as she does in the North. So for that reason, Trump will win the states of Florida and Georgia in this election, reaching 234 electoral votes. However, since Whitmer is a pretty moderate and mainstream candidate, she'll still win the states of Colorado and New Mexico, which Clinton won back in 2016 and Biden won in 2020. She'll also win much of the Northeast due to her policy positions as well as basically her being a Midwest candidate. She'll win New Hampshire and Maine. However, Trump will win Maine second as he did in 2020 and 2016, but Whitmer will win Nebraska second, which is home to Representative Don Bacon, which Trump calls a rhino. Additionally, in the 538 forecast, Biden is given the states of Minnesota and Wisconsin, and I believe those states would also go to Gretchen Whitmer due to her ties to the Midwest. So Whitmer gets up to 238 electoral votes, beating Trump's 235, with many states left. Whitmer is the daughter of a very prominent Michigan politician. Whitmer essentially has been a politician all her life. Trump, he's the son of a very prominent businessman, but he hasn't been a politician all his life. And I think Trump is able to essentially get the populist support much more than Whitmer would be able to. And for that reason, he would win the state of Pennsylvania. Whitmer would win the city of Philadelphia by a lot, but Trump would win the rural areas to an extent that is insurmountable. Trump would take home the 19 electoral votes and lead 254 to 238. However, Whitmer would take home the state of Virginia as Hillary Clinton did back in 2016. Hillary Clinton won by about 5%. Whitmer would win by around a similar margin, bringing her to 251 electoral votes. And honestly, all things considered, I think Whitmer would be a pretty similar candidate to Clinton, but would take home more of the Midwest. She would also probably beat Trump if they hold the second debate, but Trump would still win North Carolina like he did against Hillary Clinton. He won by about 3.7. Then he won against Biden by about 1.3. He'd win by a similar margin against Whitmer, winning the election 270 to 251 with 2 states remaining. The state of Arizona, which doesn't like Trump as much anymore due to its backing of traditionally moderate Republicans, would go to Whitmer just barely like it did to Hobbs against Kari Lake just recently. And the state of Nevada, which has been going to the Democratic Party in recent elections, would also go to Whitmer. And for that reason, Trump would win this election 270 to 268, all things considered. I have yet to see a candidate from the Democratic Party that can beat Donald Trump. They'll stand better chances than Biden, but they cannot yet beat Donald Trump. So if you like this prediction and you want more, make sure to subscribe to my channel to help me get monetized. Thank you.